The STI is dead, long live the TR. What's up folks, I'm Dave Underkoffler, editor-in-chief of Autolist.com, back with another one-week test drive. This week's victim is the 2024 Subaru WRX TR. The TR is an all-new trim for 2024, and while it doesn't give you additional power, it does come with key upgrades to the brakes, the chassis, and the interior. So are all those upgrades enough to fill the STI-shaped hole in our hearts? Let's go spend a week with one and find out. All right, let's start with a walk around of this TR model. Not a lot of changes visually to the TR versus the standard WRX lineup. So you're gonna be kind of hard pressed to pick it out from a distance. But if you're really looking close, you'll notice these are 19-inch alloy wheels. Those are unique. I really like these. I don't love black rims, but these are really nice. It's a matte gray finish. Looks pretty cool. And then you've got more high performance tires from Bridgestone that come on this TR model. Big upgrade to the brakes. These rotors are about 1 inch bigger in diameter up front and then 1.5 inches bigger on the rear rotors. You also have those bright red calipers. It's a 6-piston front caliper, 2-piston rear. And then you also have a larger master cylinder and larger brake pads themselves. And then the suspension has also been retuned. The springs are stiffer, damping rates have been changed, and the steering rack has also been retuned. So those are sort of the key upgrades to the chassis. But visually, yeah, looks pretty much the same as the rest of the WRX lineup. I like this red, it's pretty cool. Some people have mixed feelings about these contrasting fender flares. That is a functional outlet right there. We'll move to the back. Again, those rims, I really like those. Those look cool. But yeah, no real badging, no TR badging on this. Just looks like your standard WRX. So for whatever that's worth, but it's a good looking car. I've always enjoyed how this looks. What do you guys think? Should they have been more aggressive with the exterior styling on this TR trim? Or do you like it as is? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And then in terms of pricing, so the WRX lineup in 2024 starts at about $34,000, including destination for a base model. This TR you see here is just under $43,000, including destination. So it's the second highest trim in the WRX lineup. The only thing higher would be the GT. And of course, as you may remember, the GT is automatic only. All right, let's look under that hood. All right, next up, powertrain. And as I mentioned, this TR trim doesn't add any additional horsepower to the rest of the WRX lineup. So it gets just the standard fare. This is a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that makes 271 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with a 6-speed manual transmission, and all WRX models have active torque vectoring. And that's probably my biggest gripe about this TR model, is that Subaru didn't take this opportunity to give the WRX more power. The chassis is already great as is, but it could always use a little more grunt. And we're gonna get into more details about that in driving impressions in just a minute. All right, now to the interior of this TR model. Biggest highlights are gonna be these seats. These are Recaro seats, very supportive, very big bolstering here on the side. I like that. It's got sort of this fake suede feel to them. They're also heated. Sometimes when they go sort of aftermarket or upgraded seats like this, they're not always heated, but they are in this TR, so that's really nice. Another upgrade, you get all Subaru models with a manual transmission in 2024 now have Subaru's EyeSight active safety gear. They didn't previously. The manual models didn't have that, so that's a nice upgrade. These seats, I gotta say, look, I like to think of myself as a pretty slim guy. I'm as big as you could get in these seats in terms of width. So if you are on the bigger side, definitely sit in these, make sure they're gonna be comfortable because this is a pretty narrow seat. But if you do fit in them, yeah, great bolstering, very comfortable. I like that. You also have this sort of fake suede material here on the dashboard. I like the contrast stitching. And then look, this is not gonna get other people excited. Maybe I'm just a car geek. These floor mats, really nice floor mats, nice and thick, so you don't always see that. That's pretty cool. Another thing I want to point out in this TR model, there's no sunroof offered. That's a bit of a bummer. Subaru does it probably to save a little bit of money, but I would happily pay, what, $800-900 is usually the going rate. So just to know, you're not going to get a sunroof on the TR. Otherwise, you've got an 11.6-inch display here. This is wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto connectivity. You also have navigation. I'll show you CarPlay there. So pretty standard fare. And then when you put it in reverse, this is where the rear view camera is going to show up. Generally, the screen is good. The system can be a little laggy at times, but overall, it's not too bad. And then the climate control is built into this screen. You do have some physical buttons. I like that for both the temperature here for the driver and passenger, and then you've got physical knobs for the tuning and volume. I love that they have physical knobs. To get to the rest of the climate control, you just hit that, and then this menu pops up there. So overall, pretty good. If you've been in Subarus recently, you're gonna notice that this system is very similar to other models. And then here, pretty standard fare. You've got a digital display in the center, and then old school analog gauges. And then there's your steering wheel there. And then as I mentioned, a 6-speed manual transmission, and then just sort of standard cubbies, right? Throughout here, you've got some USB connectivity there. So overall, quiet, comfortable interior. We'll get into driving impressions next. Let's go. All right, next up, driving impressions. And this is obviously where the WRX shines. A few years ago, when this generation first came out, we tested just a base model of the WRX and really came away impressed with everything Subaru had done to it. The chassis was all new for this generation, very stout chassis. The power was great. It was a very livable daily driver that you could then have a lot of fun in. So this TR takes that recipe and just adds a little more spice to it. The handling and the chassis and the brakes just make it that much more fun to drive. It's that much more engaging, and I really do like that. I also have to admit, I am pleasantly surprised that I don't miss more power. I know earlier I said, yeah, they should have had more power. I still think Subaru should have. However, you get in this, and the upgrades they already made to how this car handles makes it that much more fun, such that you're not really missing any additional power. So that is pretty cool. Overall, it's not perfect. There are a few nitpicks that I do have with it. This shifter is a little notchy. It takes a little getting used to. It's not as smooth as maybe a Honda Civic Si or a Type R. I also want to point out that the suspension is on the firm side. So if you're going to be daily driving this in an area that has really rough roads, take it out on test drive. Just make sure you are going to want to live with this TR version every day. Like I said, the base WRX is still pretty stout. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with that. And then finally, the steering. This is the performance version. I'm surprised the steering is as light as it is on this TR. I want a little more feedback, a little more resistance, so that's a minor frustration, but none of these are deal breakers. Overall, I'm having a lot of fun in this TR. All right, folks, there you have it, our 1-week test drive of the 2024 Subaru WRX TR. Overall, we really do like this car. We think it's a great addition to the WRX lineup. We love the upgrades to the chassis, to the brakes, and especially the interior, although we do wish Subaru had added a little bit more power. But if you're shopping for this car and the TR trim is a little outside your price range, do not worry. The base model of the WRX is still fantastic, and it leaves a little more room in your budget for some power upgrades. So for reviews or listings of this TR or anything else you're shopping for, new or used, be sure to check out autolist.com. And before you go, like and subscribe to this channel so you can get alerts on all of our future updates. We'll see you out there.